Hip-hop rap 10s. From faking his own death to becoming a leader for the New World Order, I give you 10 crazy conspiracies about Tupac and his murder. Number 10. While incarcerated, Tupac read books by Niccolò Machiavelli, who was an Italian war strategist. He believed faking one's death was one of the most powerful tools to use against an enemy in battle. There is a text on the album cover of the Don Illuminati, the 7-Day Theory, that reads, "Exit Tupac, enter Machiavelli," which explains a lot about those resurrection and faking death theories around that time. Because of the timing of this, many have gone on to believe Tupac faked his death to avoid the drama from the East and West Coast beef, plus the FBI keeping him under surveillance. Damn, you picked the best time to change stage names, huh? But I ain't mad at you. Number 9. One conspiracy claims that Tupac was granted protection by the FBI for cooperating in the investigation of Death Row Records and its CEO Suge Knight. However, this theory is highly unlikely because of how strongly Tupac despised the law. He often rapped about how he knew they were listening and the feds were watching him. Also, during this time, Tupac had ties to the Black Panther Party, along with his powerful influence in pop culture at that time, which meant he was a target to the FBI himself. A few years back, the FBI actually tweeted that they did not know the whereabouts of Tupac. Now I'm torn in between the two, because I don't want to trust the FBI, but at the same time, I don't want to trust the conspiracy theory. I'll get back to you on that one. Number 8. Tupac died September 13th, 1996. Supposedly the next day, September 14th, 1996, Suge claimed he paid $3 million for the cremation of Tupac. Word got out that the Outlaws mixed Tupac's ashes together with marijuana and smoked his ashes out of respect for their friend and mentor. In an interview in 2014, Outlaws member Idi Amin confirmed the rumor. However, he stated that the ashes that they smoked did not belong to Tupac. I think the biggest concern here is not who the ashes belong to, but why are we smoking cremated ashes in the first place? Number 7. Rumors say that Tupac fled to Cuba, where his aunt has been residing for some years now. Honestly, it would be one of the perfect places to blend in, since back then the internet wasn't nearly as accessible or public as it is today. Not to mention the embargoes and other reasons why the US doesn't mess with Cuba in the first place, so there would be no ties between them. Also, in an interview with Tretch from Naughty by Nature, who is a close friend to Tupac, he was asked a few questions, and one of them off camera, supposedly, was, "Is Tupac still alive?" Which he laughed and then responded with, "Last time I saw him, he was in Cuba." Number 6. A lot of things were out of the ordinary the night that Tupac was murdered. For starters, is that he didn't wear a bulletproof vest. Tupac was known for always wearing his bulletproof vest when he was out, especially towards the ending point of his career, due to all the feuds he was dealing with. It just so happens the night he was murdered was also the night that he didn't have his vest on, and the fatal wounds that would end his life would be inflicted in the chest area. Also, his bodyguard Frank Alexander, known as Big Frank, who was a hand-picked bodyguard, noticed by Tupac after Big Frank saved Snoop Dogg from being shot in the past, was not in action like he normally would have been. Big Frank was designated to be in the car with Tupac that night, maybe even driving, but instead, the plans changed for him to drive a separate car behind Tupac, while Suge Knight, who usually doesn't do this, drove instead. April 28, 2013, Big Frank was pronounced dead by suicide, saying it was a single gunshot wound to the head. Number 5. It's not strange at all that Tupac dropped music after his death. It happens quite often when it comes to the entertainment industry. Even movies come out after an actor or actress dies sometimes. you have to take into account about how much editing, fine-tuning, and other stuff goes into play for artistic projects. But when you drop more music dead than you did alive, then answers are definitely needed, especially when you've already been in the game for 7 years. But you know what? I'm pretty sure someone out there has a logical explanation. Just a lot of late night sessions, right? Maybe he just had a lot of tracks that he didn't want released, but gave the rights up to his family for what to do with his music when he dies. That makes sense. Even if there's a lot of songs that he may have archived or may have thought weren't ready yet, and they would go out in the future. That also makes sense. But how is it possible to predict your own death accurately, record about it, and then release it after you die? Lyrics from Ain't Hard to Find off of All Eyes on Me, which was his last album before his death, and the last album under the name Tupac before he moved over to Machiavelli, read, I heard a rumor I died, murdered in cold blood, dramatized. Pictures of me in my final stage, you know mama cried. But that was fiction. Some coward got the story twisted, like I no longer existed, mysteriously missing. Now we all know that when Tupac died from gunshot wounds, it wasn't the first time that he received gunshot wounds. 2 years prior, he had been in another incident leaving a studio when he also suffered from gunshot wounds as well. So, you have to ask yourself, is he talking about that instance, or is he talking about the one that was in the future? Something to think about. Number 4. In the Bible, when Jesus died, there were witnesses as well as when he was resurrected. One of those witnesses was an apostle named Simon. Whenever the 7-Day Theory dropped under Tupac's new stage name, Machiavelli, the executive producer of the album was named Simon, which at the time was a mystery, but later to be revealed, Suge Knight himself. Suge Knight happened to be one of the last people to see Tupac when what would be one of his final moments. Is there a chance that Tupac is still alive and Suge happened to witness this as well? Number 3. Along with the lyrics and timing of other things, time factors seem very far off to solidify that Tupac died, or at least died around 1996. One of the factors is that in his music video, Toss It Up, he is seen wearing the penny 3s, which at that time had not been released yet. This can also be said about his music video To Live and Die in LA, where he is seen wearing Jordans that also had not been released by his time of death. This may be shocking to some, but many celebrities have been known to get early access to Nike shoes as well as other items before they're released to the general public. Another paradox that people speculate is that in the last official photo of Tupac, it shows a watermark at the bottom right which holds the date 1 day after the events were taken, and this was the official picture with him in the car with Suge Knight. In today's age, it's very easy to edit photos and put whatever you want in them, kind of like what I'm about to show you in the next number. But before that, there's one thing I'd like to go over as well. Many people haven't actually discussed the fact that in the Don Illuminati album, he recorded it from August 1st to August 7th, which means he had just a little over a month to record at least 2 music videos for the project that went out later that year after his time of death, which means he really had to bust his ass to make those music videos in that short amount of time. Or maybe he didn't. Maybe he took it easy and recorded it after his time of death. Who knows? Number 2. One of the crazier theories says that Tupac was abducted by aliens from the planet of Yillamar, who used some type of weird alien powers to fake Tupac's death. Afterwards, they made an agreement with him that he would continue to make music for the next 1,000 years from their home planet. He would be supplied with, quote unquote, the fattest honeys they could find, and after the agreement was finished and the 1,000 years was up, he would be granted immortality on Earth. Honestly, now that I think about it, that's better than what other people get for record deals nowadays. Number 1. Similar to the alien abduction, this states that Tupac, as well as other famous people who are either presumed dead or missing, live in a secret space station awaiting the apocalypse that is around the corner. After it finishes, they will return to Earth to rebuild its population, culture, and start a new world order under the influence and agenda that they are preparing in the space station currently. Well, there you have it. 10 crazy Tupac conspiracies and theories. I can't even believe some of them myself. Have you heard something crazier? Put it in the comments section, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more hip hop and rap 10s in the future. I guarantee you don't want to miss it. Have a good day, guys, and stay up.